Hey, what's up, everyone? Just chilling out here with my Morbius and Madam Web posters. Morbius did better than Joker 2 at the box office, at least this weekend. You know this movie's going to have a huge drop. Oh, I don't even want to look at the second weekend for this movie. It is going to be historically bad. I mean, look at Sunday for the box office. If you follow the box office, which I do, not as much as I used to, but I do. I used to be like obsessed with like box office numbers and shit. Like I don't know why I cared, but I used to always care. I have no idea why, but I did. It's gonna be humongous. It's gonna be like a 75% drop, maybe even 80% drop. Like this movie's gonna be a horrifying flop. Everybody thinks The Flash was the flop. I think this one might be even worse. I don't know. Anyway, so Joker 2, baby, Joker 2. This is, or Joker Filet of Fish, whatever you call it, Feliz Navidad, whatever you want to call it. It's out, and, nobody's liking it. Everybody hates it. They hate musicals. They hate subversion of expectations. They hate everything. It really does subvert your expectations, this movie, because you're expected, oh man, dude, it's going to be Joker and Harley. They're going to do some Joker and Harley shit. They're going to go out there and go nuts. And no, I mean, everything you see in the trailer was obviously going to be delusions from Arthur, you know, just like visions and stuff. You know, that was a big part of the first movie, is all the delusions. And that's exactly what happened with this movie. It is him in Arkham, getting either abused or just kind of like looking sad. It's either him in there being abused by guards or looking sad, singing a song with Lady Gaga's Harley, or he's in a courtroom and he's just there for most of it, looking kind of sad and stuff, until he decides, I want to be my own lawyer, and then he does the lawyer's thing, and then things happen, and the movie ends, and then you leave and you go home and you fucking jerk one out, and then, you know, anyways, I just didn't. All right, I'm going to be honest. I liked the movie. I'm just going to straight up. I know I'm making it sound like I did. I actually did like the movie. I actually really liked it. I don't think it's great, and it as a sequel to Joker 1, it is obviously so retconned. It really is, because the first movie at the end, we have, first of all, they don't even talk about the ending of Joker, where he like obviously kills someone. It's not clear if it was the woman he's talking to at the end, where it's like, you wouldn't get the joke or whatever. That's live, and these things. I'm assuming it is, but it could have been somebody else later. You know, they could have cut later and he stabbed somebody else later. You know, it's not 100% certain. And I guess you could also argue that it was a vision, but they also make Arkham look completely different in this than it did in that movie, where it was very sanitary, very white. Here, it's just grungy, shitty, Shawshank-looking prison and stuff. Asshole guards, which, by the way, Brendan Gleeson's very good in this movie. He's like the main one, Jackie. Yeah, it's just you know, they obviously didn't really care about consistency, at least bridging these two, because the whole first movie is about him becoming Joker, not the Joker, but Joker. That's why it's called Joker, not the Joker. And he just becomes Joker at the end. That's really the movie, and he's in whatever, the mental asylum, and he does a little dance as he has the bloody footprints. It's supposed to say, hey, he's in here, and guess what? He's not going to get better. He's probably going to get worse. Now he's just murdering people because whatever. Because you could argue, like, he killed Murray for a reason. It wasn't a good reason, but he did. And he killed Randall for a reason. Again, it's not enough to murder somebody. And whatever, like the three brokers, his mom. There was all reasons for all of these. You know, he wasn't just he randomly killed somebody. And then at the end of the movie, it's just like, he's fully embraced Joker. Now he just murdered somebody. And we don't see it, but we see the bloody footprints. We could just all assume he killed somebody. And this movie doesn't even address that. They don't even talk about it. They don't even talk about the other extra murder. They say the 5 people you killed, which is actually 6, because they don't know he killed his mother. Which I'm glad they actually kept that consistent. You know what I mean? So I'll give the movie that. The whole movie feels like a retcon, but also it's also so reliant on the first movie. It's very strange, because the whole movie is about, it leads up to the court case, which is 2 years later. So he's finally having his court case about the people he murdered and the ensuing riots and stuff because of what he did. I don't know why I'm showing my background like that, but sorry, whatever. So it's all about that. It's all about leading up to that court case. It takes about an hour, I'd say a little over an hour until the court case starts. And the court case stuff I thought was fine. It was kind of generic stuff. Catherine Keener plays his lawyer, and she's very good too. And when he becomes his own lawyer at one point, that was interesting. One of the best scenes in the movie is between him and Gary, who was the dwarf clown from the first movie. His clown, what's the word I'm looking for? Compatriot? Why that's not the word I'm looking for. Work friend, whatever. I guess it's friend because, you know, this movie has some great scenes, and that might be the best one, where I don't even want to spoil it, but Gary has had a good time in the last couple of years because of what he witnessed in the first movie. And I really, really like that they embraced that. But you see what I mean? Like, it's so reliant on the first movie. Even Gary, who's a character that was on screen maybe, 5 minutes, gets a moment in here, and it's the best moment of the movie. I think at least it's a great scene, but it's not just because of the actor that plays Gary. He does a really good job, but because, like, we see Arthur realize that, okay, you know, he caused a lot of issues that were not towards bad people. It was to people that he even said were good. But as you may have noticed, I kind of skipped a big plot element. I talked about the court case. He's in the prison. He gets abused by guards, whatever. But the big thing about this movie is that it's called Joker Filet of Fish, whatever, Filet du, however you pronounce it, which means the madness of two, I believe. Because now we have Harley Quinn and Lady Gaga play Harley Quinn, which immediately I was totally for when the casting happened. I was like, that's great choice, I think, as Harley Quinn, because or Lee. I mean, her name is still Harley in the movie. That's why I was like a little confused. Everybody was like, no, her name's Lee. I'm like, I watched the fucking trailer. You see it says Joker and Harley at one point. What are you talking about? Whatever. She goes by Lee because Harley. Lee, it's short. The fuck? Her name is still Harleen, by the way. They even made that very clear that her name is Harleen Quinzel, and she was a psychiatrist at one point. So it's still the same backstory, really, kind of. But it was all about those two relationship. And I was like, okay, that could work, you know. I mean, they tried to do a little love story in the first movie. Obviously, it didn't work out. Not that it was a love story, but, you know, there was a romance thing, which was obvious. Immediately, I was just like, there's no way how that Zazie Beetz will want to fuck this 90-pound sack of shit. So there's no way in hell. But I was right. Immediately, I was like, this is not real. And then, you know, which, it's funny, I still watched, like, some reviews that didn't understand. That's whatever. We don't need to get into that. But, yeah, so I was very excited for the movie because I wanted to see the Joker-Harley Quinn relationship. And for the most part, that stuff is good. It's one of my favorite parts of the movie is it's not a typical Harley and Joker as you would expect from this version of Joker. It's not going to be a typical, like, you know, Joker being an asshole to Harley or whatever. If anything, it's the other way around here. This Harley is extremely manipulative, a complete asshole, uses music. The movie, of course, I didn't even talk about the musical aspect, which I'll get to in a minute. But she uses music to manipulate, too. Like, that's pretty much all of her music is just to manipulate Arthur. Because she's into the Joker persona. She loves Joker. Oh, boy. They made a TV movie in the universe of this Joker movie, which is funny. They never showed anything about it. I would have loved to see, like, someone playing Joker in that TV movie. I bet there's, like, a deleted scene or something where you get to see, like, someone pretending to be Arthur Fleck or whatever in the TV movie. But she even says, like, she's watched it, like, 20 times and stuff. But it's very quickly revealed that she's a liar and manipulator and stuff. And I thought that whole thing was good and very well done. The problem with this movie is it's a musical. And the music isn't the best. Like, Joaquin Phoenix, God bless him, he's an amazing actor. But good Lord, he cannot sing. And I appreciate that Lady Gaga actually tried to make herself sound like she's not Lady Gaga at times when it comes to the singing. But it kind of actually has the opposite effect with Joaquin Phoenix. Where Joaquin Phoenix can't sing, but he's trying. But Lady Gaga is trying not to sing, but she can. So it's kind of like they're both failing, but in opposite ways. You know what I mean? Like she's failing to not sound good, but she sounds good. Joaquin Phoenix is trying to sound good, but he's failing and it just sounds bad. I think it actually kind of works with his musical numbers, wherever he's singing. I think it's better whenever there's a Harley song where she's singing and then Joker, you know, Arthur is doing like dance. Like there's one scene towards the end, one musical number that's like easily the best one in the entire movie. That was actually pretty good. I actually liked it, where he's like tap dancing and stuff. That stuff is good. I wish there was more stuff like that, but also I wish there was less stuff like that because the musical numbers don't really serve that much of a purpose. They do. I understand what they're going for, but they could have served the purpose better if they were not musical numbers. They're all visions, pretty much all of them. Not all of them, I shouldn't say that, but most of them are visions that Arthur has cooked up in his head. And I feel like if they were just visions that were cooked up in his head, but they weren't musical numbers, I think it would work better. I believe, like, if they were actually just, like, scenes, but they were visions, like, kind of like the first Joker, where he has that vision with Murray, and he's talking, he's like, hey, I love you, you're a great kid, I wish you were my son, you know, all that stuff. Like, it's very on the nose, but it actually works because of his character and, you know, how he envisions it, you know what I mean? He just wants a father figure, again, and that's a big part of the first movie, is that he want, like, that's why he goes to Thomas Wayne. He's very excited to hear about, oh, he might be my dad, oh my god. But this movie kind of, I don't know, this movie decides to have just the musical numbers be kind of like, I don't even want to say, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Spectacle? It's not even, like, a lot of them are, like, this one early on where Joaquin Phoenix, it's, like, I think the first big one where he's, like, watching TV and he starts singing, I forgot what song it is, but he's in a cafeteria area, and he just, like, walks around and bops around, and there's other inmates, like, going, but it's just very dull. It's just unnecessary. It really was unnecessary. Some of them were good, most of them weren't. Everything around the musical numbers, though, I really liked. I did. And I even the kind of taking the original movie where it was him building up to Joker, being Joker, and then changing it for this where he doesn't really want to be Joker. Like, I don't want to spoil too much in case the 4 people that actually want to see it. But I did enjoy that. I thought it worked when it wasn't fucking a musical. To be fair, it takes about 30-40 minutes until we get our first musical number, so you get a lot of not musical numbers in the beginning, so it doesn't even start like a real musical would start off with a big opening musical, you know, like opening, you know, but not this one. This one decided to open up with a animated little opening scene, which I thought was cool. I liked it. It was very well animated. Triplets of Belfort. Is that what the movie's called? Belfort? I can't remember. I saw that movie a long time ago, but it's from the same animator that did that movie. And it was really cool. I really liked that animation. Some people were like kind of shitting on it. I was just like, I don't know. I think it's really unique and cool. I like it. I think some people were upset because it wasn't like the Warner Brothers animation style, like the DC movies or something. That would, first of all, that'd be a bad idea, because then people would look at it and go like, oh, it looks like the DC anime movies. Maybe it's connected or some fucking weird shit. And also it just wouldn't fit with the tone. Like having that kind of like almost like old kind of Looney Tunes look to it makes more sense, especially with Arthur, you know, because Arthur's kind of still childish in some form. No, not fully, but you know what I mean. Fully ado. Yeah, it's just, I like the animated scene. I do in the beginning, but it's very unnecessary because it just kind of tells you the whole point of the movie. And it's just like, all right, I get it. And now the whole movie, I'm just waiting for it to build up to that. And so it was kind of, it was kind of pointless and over, because the movie itself kind of tells that. And again, it's like, because it's being subtle-ish, the animated opening, so people that aren't like really paying attention will be like, oh my god, it was like the animation kind of told what it would be about or so. But yeah, I don't know. The whole movie is about that opening animation, but whatever. I liked it though. The animation was good. But anyway, everybody's great in the movie. Like, Lady Gaga's great. Joaquin Phoenix is great. Brendan Gleeson's great. Catherine Keener's great. Steve Coogan, who's barely in it, but he's very good. Even though I heard a little bit, like I swear to God, I heard like an Irish accent pop up here and there while he was talking. which was weird because for the most part, he had like a kind of like a New York kind of accent. And then like, it sounded really weird because like accent would come in and out. Oh, and the Gary actor, I don't know his name. Shout outs. Great. I'm so sorry. I don't know your name. I really should have looked, but he's great in this. Everybody's very good. Everybody's very good. I'm just very, I don't know. I'm very disappointed because I think the movie's very good, but the musical aspect was just unnecessary completely. I really do think so, because it kind of really took over screen time for other scenes that could have been great. Because for the most part, the writing's good, you know, the direction I think is good, you know, when it's not a musical. I like it takes its time. I feel like the pacing makes sense. And I understand that people are upset that it just didn't become like Joker goes out and kills people now. I'm okay with that not happening, because you're supposed to kind of like Arthur in the first movie and understand him. And then when he does evil things, you're like, oh no, you know, and then you kind of feel bad about yourself for like being like, yeah, you know. And sure, the people that he killed were all distasteful in some sort of way, you know, like Murray is probably like the least. He's just a talk show. As you could tell, like even before that, when he's talking to Arthur, when he's like, call me Joker, or you know, that whole interaction, you can tell he's just a normal dude. He's just like, whatever, it's just for show business, you know. But everybody else, you know, Randall's try to set him up with the gun stuff. Well, that one's not fully clear. That's the thing. A lot of the things in Joker, like, there's a lot of things, like, it's not super clear, and I like that. Here, everything's clear, very straightforward, for the most part. There's a couple things, especially towards the end, this is like, whatever. I think I'll do a spoiler section. And, you know, let's get to it now. I'm sure nobody really cares what I have to think of the rest of the movie, but the musical numbers, there's a couple that are okay, but for most are good, even. But for the most part, none of them are really necessary. All that stuff could have been told in actual dialogue. I will say Lady Gaga does a great job, but she does not have a lot to do in this movie besides just being like, hey, Arthur, I love you, Arthur. Except really, it's Joker I love. Whatever, I love you. Here's a song about how much I love you. You're great. We're going to build a mountain or whatever. And it's obvious that a lot of her scenes got cut because there's like two big ones that were in... No, there's one big one that's in the trailer that's not in it, which is the steps where she like air humps or whatever. And then there's one behind the scenes video you can watch of her obviously doing like a musical number on the stairs, you know, the stairs from Joker 1. So I don't know what the hell happened there. I think the movie itself is good. I liked it and I don't get the hate. And it didn't bother me that they kind of changed Arthur's whole, like, I'm going to be Joker, baby, but thing. It didn't bother me as much as I'm sure it bothers a lot of people, most people, I would assume. But yeah. Now let's talk about spoilers. All right, this I know this has been kind of like a what the hell review. Like I'm just like rambling, but I gotta talk about the ending. I'm just gonna get straight to the ending. All right, so for people that don't know, I don't know how you would not know, but the ending is, I think, universally hated. It feels like. I should say that because there's some people that defend it, of course, but like the majority of people hate the ending. They hate it. Like actually, I've seen a lot of people say like, it was okay, it was good, like a 6 out of 10, maybe 7 out of 10, until that fucking ending. Now it's a 1 out of 10, which is like, that's an overreaction, but okay. This is obviously the final movie. Even if it didn't bomb and did money or made money, I don't think Todd Phillips would have come back for a third one, especially after the ending here. But you know, this is obviously the end of this Joker story. They treat this as a part 2 for a reason, because Joker, or Arthur, I should say, gets fucking stabbed to death at the end of the movie by another inmate who we've seen a few times here and there, who's just kind of in the background, like looking kind of insane, got crazy eyes. He gets stabbed to death by him after Arthur announces publicly in front of everybody in a courtroom that the Joker persona is bullshit. There was no Joker. It's just me, Arthur. I did all the horrible things, even though that was not the point of the original movie, but whatever. So yeah, he says that, and then he comes back to the prison. He gets a guilty verdict, which was not surprising, which also can most likely lead to him getting executed. Oh, I guess I should mention this. The courtroom blows up, and then he gets like grabbed by a bunch of like Joker people, you know, like the Joker rioter guys. And then he's about to escape with them, and then he decides fuck this, and he runs away from them, and then he gets caught. He wants to go meet up with Lee, Harley Quinn's, and then she breaks up with him because she saw that he said, "Nah, I'm not Joker, fuck that." And she's like, "Fuck that, you ain't getting this pussy. By the way, I ain't actually pregnant." And which, what a surprise. And he's like, all right, well, I guess I'm going back to Arkham. Fuck it. He just gives up. And then he gets stabbed to death by who is supposed to be the real Joker. Oh, because as he's dying, Arthur's dying on the ground, bleeding to death. You can hear and kind of see the inmate guy. He's doing his laugh, which, by the way, is nowhere near as good as Joaquin Phoenix's laugh. No offense. But you could see him like take the knife and he starts doing the Glasgow smile thing that Heath Ledger's Joker had. Now, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, in the Batman, the scene with the Joker, doesn't he have like this kind of scars on his face too? So I know a lot of people are just like, oh my God, is this a prequel to The Dark Knight? Which, no. Like, I don't even, no, we saw it just no. Just no. At the end, no. We see Two-Face also in this, or Harvey Dent get half his face burnt off, by the way. No. Also, the Alfred is completely different. The Waynes look completely different. The way they die is, I mean, I guess similar, but I different enough where it's just like, no, that would be another retcon. So it's not, it's just a guy that cuts his mouth, you know, and I feel like other Jokers have done that after the Heath Ledger. Who knows? Maybe there's another one before that did it. Dude, we've had Jokers that have cut their own face off and then posted right back on their own face, whatever. So I don't know. So anyway, the ending happens. Other things happen. Arthur gets sexually assaulted by a bunch of guards. Now I'm not sure if that was 100% confirmed because you don't really see it. They bring him into a shower. They take his clothes off, but they could have, I guess, just did that just to humiliate him and then beat the shit out of him. So I guess it's kind of left off like for interpretation, but everybody's interpreting it as he was sexually assaulted. You can kind of figure it out from there, I guess. After that scene, too, is just like, he's very much like, I'm not Joker, fuck this. So I think it's supposed to be that, yeah, he was beaten, obviously, but he's been beaten before, so I think he's just kind of like, whatever. But like after being sexually assaulted, I guess it's supposed to be when he's like, fuck it, I ain't Joker anymore. Hate this world. So yeah, he decides not to be Joker, and all this stuff happens. Harley says, fuck you, and then he gets stabbed to death by the actual Joker guy. I'm going to tell you right here, it's a very bold ending. Very bold just to be like, all right, well, Arthur's going to be sentenced to death, but a little sooner than he thought. Because usually with death sentences, it takes a little while until you actually die. I've seen The Green Mile. I know how it works. Not that that's the most realistic depiction of anything, but I love that movie. But I know you could be on death row for a very long time. So I thought the ending was bold, and it wasn't surprising because I knew the movie was ending soon, and I heard it was controversial, so I was like, he's going to die. And then the part that made me go, oh, is when he even repeats the joke that he told Murray in the first movie. Kind of, it's not the same thing. He's like, yeah, what you fucking deserve, and then he stabbed him and stuff, and Arthur's like, oh, fuck. I gotta give huge credit to all the actors, bro. When Arthur was getting stabbed, Joaquin Phoenix sold the shit out of that. Like the surprise, and also like you could almost see a sense of like relief too, because he really had nothing left. So, and then when he dies, it's like one of the best like deaths I've seen someone act out. I thought it was really good. It's just funny when it compared this to like a villain death in like The Dark Knight Rises. You know, with Marion Cotillard, who's a great actress. Just forget, she goes. And so I was like, what? But yeah, I don't really have much else to say besides the ending. There's a lot of good stuff. I'll probably talk about it again in the future, but really I just wanted to get this video out there. The ending is bold, and I gotta say, I kind of liked it. I don't know, like after all that, it makes sense that's where it would go. The only thing I don't like is the whole Joker, like, oh, he's the real Joker. But that's not really what it's trying to do. It's trying to say that it wasn't about Arthur being Joker, because anybody could be Joker. Like Joker, like one of the classic lines is you're one day away from being me, or all it takes is one bad day or whatever. And really, that's true. So like, I just like that we're not pretending like this is the end all be all. Anybody could be Joker at any point, really. And someone just fed up with society. I know the meme, but the world. How about that? You say the world instead, then people will find you less cringe, I guess. But yeah, I enjoyed it. I didn't love it, but I really liked it. I mean, I guess I really liked it in comparison to a lot of other people. I still would only give this like a 7 out of 10, I think. But to say it's one of the worst movies ever is fucking ridiculous. It's hyperbole and it's fucking nuts that anybody would say that. You just wanted, I'm the Joker, baby, doing Joker stuff. And you've had that so many fucking times from so many other Joker performances. I don't understand, bro. It's ridiculous. I don't even remember hearing about a leak that was obviously fake, so I read it. About, like, this is the most violent movie ever. Joker and Harley go around and decapitate people and fucking gut people and shit. I'm like, there's no fucking way in hell they would give it a $200 million budget for Todd Phillips to go around just murdering people horrifyingly. There's no way. Now, I don't know why it cost $200 million, and also I don't know why they gave him that much money to do a fucking musical. I guess because the first movie made $1 billion, but still, there's no way in hell they'll make a Joker sequel into a Saw movie. So I don't know what the fuck that leak came from. That was a funny one, though. And honestly, I probably would have liked to see that more than a musical, but whatever. Yeah, I don't have much else to say. Again, like a 7 out of 10. That'd be my score. But there you go. That's a very disjointed Joker 2 review. Let me know what you thought. The ending, I kind of liked. And that's not me being contrarian, because most of the time I agree with people. Like this and Alien Romulus are probably the two that I'm a contrarian, I guess. I liked it. I don't know what the fuck to tell you. I enjoyed this more than Alien Romulus. At least this one wasn't forcing like, remember this shit? Huh? And dumbass characters and shit. Sure, it was forcing musical numbers down my throat, but I'd rather that than fucking, game over, man. Get away from her, you bitch. And fucking just boring ass shit. I'm sorry, but Alien Romulus is a fucking boring movie. I don't understand the love for it. I understand, like, thinking it's one of the better Alien movies because, you know, I still like some of those other ones, but I would understand other people hating them, but like I don't fucking get it. Like that's like a 6 out of 10 at best for me. I gave it a 7 when it first came out, but fuck me, after thinking about it more, I think I'm at a 6 at this point. But anyway, that's it. Bye.